Okay, so I'm about to watch The Radiant Child once again, and basically, I've always wanted to talk about Jean-Michel Basquiat, and I always try to talk to people about him, but nobody understands, and they always look at me like I'm crazy, but that ain't nothing new, and so I don't know, I just like talking about him, and I like to tell people about him and stuff, and like I could talk about him for hours, but I'm not. I think I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. And I don't have nothing written down. I'm just freestyling. And I don't know. Just want to talk about y'all. So I'm gonna start with why do I like Jean-Michel so much? Because I always wanted to know why other people like him so much. So I'm gonna start with why I like him so much. And I think one of the reasons I just figured out like today is why I like him so much is because he wasn't perfect. And when I say he wasn't perfect, it's because he never tried to do anything perfect. Like he actually tried to did draw and write with his left hand so it could look more childlike, you know. And that's one of the things that people love, you know, because it's like so it looks like just messy, I guess. And then I think to me, those like the way he writes, it's not like just straight and neat and nothing. It's like little and like if he writes a letter or whatever, it's not like just smooth or whatever. It's kind of fun. It like gives you something like some feeling or whatever, like emotion or whatever. And he was just so sweet, and all he wanted to do was just do what he wanted to do, which was create stuff and help his friends, and you know, and like, and just be himself. And I don't know, this is weird because I'm talking to this. I'm trying to think of when I first discovered Jean, because it's kind of mixed all in my head. Because I knew Andy Warhol first. I never knew about Jean-Michel. Like, I knew Andy Warhol because his paintings was like very popular and it was all over the place. And then there was MySpace.com, and then they had like this little effect that everybody would use at that time, and it was the Andy Warhol effect, really, when he made the picture of Marilyn Monroe, and it was like all like a bunch of different squares of the same picture though, but just different colors, like her lips, the background, and shit like that. And I remember everybody used to use that all the time, and I'd be like, I wonder, do they know that that's like from an Andy Warhol? Or was that I liked GQ, and I found out about Glenn O'Brien because he wrote the style guide inside of there. And I think that's what really introduced me to Jean-Michel. And I went to go watch TV Party, and actually not went to go watch it. I bought it on eBay or whatever. And so when I was watching it or whatever, because I always wanted to do something like that, and so I was watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, they are so cool. Like, look at all of them together, like all their friends, and everybody's just doing shit. And then on TV Party, when they didn't have a cameraman or whatever, they would just let any of their friends just work the camera and shit. And so sometimes their friends will just be crazy and just not even be filming anything. They will be filming somebody's feet, somebody's ear, their jewelry, their like leg tapping or their finger like this or something like. And that's the type of stuff that I like, because those are the type of things that I like to pay attention to people or whatever. And so, especially when Jean would have the camera, he would do all kinds of stuff. He especially was going to somebody's feet, and then he started to do like how he was Samo, and he did his graffiti and he writes on the walls and stuff like that. And so when Glenn, come TV Party or whatever, because Glenn was like, if you my friend, then you gonna have to be on the show, because if you ain't on the show, then you're not my friend or whatever. So like, and so I love that Glenn O'Brien was. Did I say John at first? I mean Glenn O'Brien said that like, if you my friend, you gonna be on the show, like. And so I like that he did that. And so when he brung Jean in, I can't really remember right now, but Jean ended up going into the control room, and that's how they ended up getting the words across the screen. And so he would just start typing stuff, and as it was playing, because they had a show that came on regular TV, and it played in New York and in California, in Los Angeles or San Francisco, and so he would write these messages across the screen, and they was like thought provoking. They would make people think or be like, "What the fuck?" And so I know he liked doing that. Like, you could tell he was having fun fucking with people and shit like that. And then he was kind of meek, and then like when he explains his process of how he paints and goes about things, and like, oh, I went to the museum to go take a picture of the belt buckle, and then I came back and I drew it. And then the interviewer, he's like, that seems like a slow process. And then Jean just simply said, I'm a slow person. Like, huh? What you think that's supposed to make me feel some type of way or something? Like, he was just like, well, I'm a slow person. And then I love the way that he just like always just like got this smirk on his face, like when people was talking to him, like he's answering you, but he's also thinking about something completely different, and he might be laughing at you. I think that's what he used to be doing a lot, is laughing at people, because that smirk is just like, he always has something else going on in his head, and I believe he was just like, these motherfuckers think they know what they talking about, and they don't. And he just smile and answer the question and go about his business. And what else about Jean? I should have wrote something down, huh? Oh, another thing about Jean that I like that he would just give his friends paintings and stuff like that. Like, oh, you want a painting? Oh, you come to see him, you gonna chill with him and shit while he painting and stuff. Like, he doing his thing. He got his music playing, TV on, all this stuff going on. And he got paintings all over the place and stuff. He might leave that painting to go walk over there to that painting and then go add something, because a thought just popped in his mind about that one. And that's why I know that his mind was always thinking about something else. Like, when people was talking to him, his mind was always on something else. Like, what was he doing? Or what was he already working on? What was he gonna add to that? What was he gonna do? Like I feel like that's how his mind was just constant moving. And then he had a friend named Tamara Davis, and I really like her because I like that she was the only friend of his that actually sat there and recorded him with no intentions, and she just held on to it until someone finally said, like, what are you gonna do with all of that stuff? Like, you should put that out into the world and shit. And she did it, and she created the Radiant Child. And then, like, I fell in love, and I bought that off of eBay too. And I had the Times magazine, but I don't know what happened to it. And so yeah, I really like her, and I really like her. That says a lot about her to do something like that, just hold on to it. Because even if you know that you're going to do something with it later, it's just like, you ain't really that, like, I can hold on to this for my nigga, and put it out when the time is right, so that way, who is meant to see it, they will see it. That's why you just do stuff when the time is right. Like, I know you gotta have schedules and you gotta have all of that type of stuff, but one thing about Jean was that he did things his way, and he really had respect for his peers. He thought all his peers was amazing at what they did, and he wanted to help them in any way he could, and be a part of like what they had going on. And you don't find a lot of friends like that. Most of the time you find friends that you do have good friends that want to see you do good, and they want to see you and they want to help you succeed and all that type of stuff like that. But then those are rare. You have more people that don't want to see you do some shit because they know that you possibly could do it, and so they just like try to discourage you from doing that shit or whatever. And he wasn't that kind of person, and I don't feel like none of the people that he was around was that type of person either. I don't really blame none of his friends and shit for like selling his paintings back then, because a lot of them was on drugs and just broke, and they didn't really know. Like, they didn't really know. They just knew that it was worth a little bit of money, and that was gonna give them some drugs or some food or a cab ride or whatever they was using the money for. So I'm pretty sure I know, well, I just watched this in here. They say that they regret that type of shit or whatever, but you know, you live and you learn. And let's see what he's talking about right here. You see, like right now, he's talking about how he was so broke and he used to look for money on the floor at the Mud Club, and yeah, like, he's just such a sweet soul. And I really like that Basquiat movie with the guy from you know who I'm talking about. What's that dude name? Let me go find it.
I thought it would be a good disguise, you know. They wouldn't be looking for somebody with a shaved head or something.
And Jean wrote, which of the following symbols are omnipresent? A, Lee Harvey Oswald, B, Coca-Cola, etc. His multi-choice graffiti same-o pieces. I went up to him later on. First thing Jean said was,
Just
"You
the
want to
cute
start a
voice
band?"
of
I'm
the
like,
gutter.
"Yeah, sure." And we started what became Gray that night.
Right now, we have
Just show me his name.
TV Party in the past has brought you some of the most significant commentators on graffiti in New York.
That's his
Tonight, we're
name,
lucky
Jeffrey
enough to
Wright.
have with us
He the dude from
probably
the Shaft
the most
movie.
language-oriented of
Yeah,
all
like
graffiti
this.
artists in New York, Samo,
That dude.
and his associate.
And,
Samo, sorry.
Him,
Sorry,
Jeffrey.
Mr. Samo. Well, you
I really like
see
him
it
playing
written
in
on the
that
walls
movie.
and
Like, I really like him as an actor. He's like a method actor.
Perhaps we should put in
Method actor, I believe.
S-A-Y
And
hyphen
Jean-Michel was just sort of playing so that
other people wouldn't make the same mistake that I just did.
and I remember thinking, like, this is a totally cool thing.
and that's 5'5" Freddie talking right there. And he used to be at TV Party too. And he was a graffiti artist too. He was an everything
So what's
too.
happening? You know, I've
But,
seen some. Have people been writing your name without your permission?
Yeah, I saw a couple of those today, man. They were really, really melon, you know? Like, just, I gotta mind if they're, I don't know. I kind of do mind if they write. They should just write their own name next to it, you know? If they're gonna write, like, such a stupid comment, man.
There's one
No,
on Bond.
let me go to this because, hold on.